Today we are gonna talk about my past Tinder dates. So I had a lot of people request me to talk about my past dates and guys that I've seen. So today we are gonna talk about Tinder number 32. So I will be referring to these guys as numbers because I don't want to bear out anyone's scene. So Tinder number 32, he's called the music producer. So basically, what was happening was we went out on a couple dates, and he was from Burlington, white guy, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I was trying to get over someone. I needed to get out and talk. This was before I went to Australia, so about a couple months before I went to Oz. We were hanging out, and he was super cool shit. The first time he picked me up, we went to the Brow. He's from Burlington, so we went to the Brow. We chilled, and we just talked about future, stuff like that. Then the second time, I believe he took me downtown, somewhere on Augusta, and then we went to Alamares. And I remember that he had mentioned that he had a wedding he had to go to for his friend in Vancouver, and I was like, I want to go. In my head, I'm like, I want to keep talking to this guy so he invites me to this wedding so I can get blown out to Vancouver, because I thought, why not? But whatever. Anyways, that's Ken's crazy mind in her head. So then I was leaving for Australia, and then I felt bad because I was I kept talking to this guy, and then I'm gonna need to tell him. So I think one night we hung out, and I told him that I was leaving, and he kind of seemed really upset, and I was like, okay, really? Because all the guys I ever talked to, they're so whatever about me. So it's just really funny that he was actually upset. Well, it's actually cute. Well, it's actually nice. Actually, guys should be upset if you're leaving the country. So the guys that weren't upset, clearly they weren't the ones for me. So anyways, so so I remember All-Star Weekend was happening, and he was in Toronto, and he wanted to meet up and stuff because he was staying with his friend. And that night I had gone to an All-Star party, and I had met someone. Look at Ken, always meeting guys. But I had met this guy in the club, and this is Mr. Brampton. And I don't know if I'll ever show the story of Mr. Brampton because, I just love Mr. Brampton too much to, share those details. So, Mr. Brampton, I met him, and that following night, Mr. Brampton was like, oh, I'll just cab you there. It's fine. He's like, come with me in the cab. We'll go get food, and then you can go to your friend. You can go to Tinder number 32's. So I was like, okay, cool. And I'm fucking hammered. I'm drunk out of my mind. I'm sober, but I'm drunk. It's I know what's going on, but I'm clearly intoxicated. So I hop in the car with Mr. Brampton and his friend. Let's say Asian PlayStation. We'll call him Asian PlayStation. So I hop in the car with his friend, and we're driving. And I'm like, oh, we're driving so long. I'm Parker said, Tinder number 32 said that he was down the street from my hotel. So I ended up leaving to go to Brampton anyways. But basically I ditched number 32 for Mr. Brampton, okay? And then after that, I started talking to Mr. Brampton. I didn't want to talk to Tinder 32 anymore. I was kind of he's not with it. Because me and Tinder 32, we ended up, hooking up, and I cried. Fucking cry. So the night we, first hooked up, I bawled my eye. I started crying. While it was happening. And he was mortified. He was like, are you okay? What's going on? And I was like, I can't do this. Oh my God. Because I'm feeling guilty because I like somebody else, but that other person didn't like me back. So here I am trying to move on, but I'm crying, feeling guilty for no fucking reason. So, long story short, I ended things with Tinder 32, went to Australia. So during my time in Australia, Tinder 32 would message me, be like, hey, how you doing? And would want to talk to me and whatever. all through while I was in Australia. You know, a lot of you guys do this. As soon as she leaves, a lot of you guys are like, oh, how's it going? Da 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 da. Why do you do that? No idea. So he kept messaging me, kept in contact and whatever. And then, so I came back from Australia. So 11 months later, I came back, and he had the damn nerve. So he was messaging me as soon as I got back from Oz, and he was like, I want to see you. I want to pick you up. Like, let's go here. Let's go there. He wanted to do everything with me. Like, he wanted to do everything with me. He wanted to go for dinner and, like, just hang out. And to me, I thought it was a little weird because I'm not used to that. Like, usually the guys I hang out with, we just hang out. We don't, there's no going out. There's no taking pictures of me on Instagram, which I am a little offended by. But that's okay. So, yeah, so he wanted to hang out, and then, like, my car wasn't really, I didn't want to take it all the way to, like, Toronto, because he had ended up moving to Toronto, and things just kept happening, and then I ended up meeting someone else who I was, like, super into, so I kind of just let that die out. So 6 months later, we still keep in contact, not, like, calling or, like, texting, just, like, if I post a pic, I get a message, or, like, he'll be like, hey, what's up, how are you, like, this is what's going on in my life, or, like, sometimes we would call each other, but it wasn't anything sexual, nothing. It was a very friendly vibe. So then I get this job at like a car dealership. So I call everybody I know, and I'm like, hey, if you need a car, hey, if you know someone that needs a car. So I call him and I tell him, and at that time I wasn't talking to anyone. I was, like, in a drought. So I told him, I was like, hey, like, you know, I'm, like, down to reconsider, like, you know, us again. I think, like, maybe, like, if you're not talking to anyone, I'm not talking to anyone, like, maybe we should try again and see where this goes. Why did I do that? I have no idea. I wish some things you literally put in a fucking box and you throw it in the garbage and you never pick that shit up again. Like, see this rose? Well, it's broken now. But as soon as the rose dies out, actually, let me pull this out and show you guys. So as soon as the rose dies out, keep in mind, I was holding it in something like this. I didn't know how to take care of plants. As the rose dies out, what you do is you look at it and you're like, oh, that was a great time having this rose, and you throw it in the garbage. It's literally gone. Like, the past, that's something I need to realize. It's like, the past is the past. So with him, whatever. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, like, me and my girlfriend are done. I'm, like, you know, on to new things, whatever. Let's meet up. So I think we started messaging and all of this. And then he went to me and he was like, you know what? You're not putting in any effort. Like, I don't see anything from you. I always have to be the one to do this, do that. Same shit, different guy. Same shit, different, whatever you want to say. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to drive to Toronto and I'm going to go out for dinner with him and, like, whatever, I'm going to pay for it. Because that's, to me, that's me showing effort. Because I'm like, oh, that's enough effort. Like, I'm driving 45 minutes out my way, plus I'm paying $30 for dinner. That's so much effort from Ken. Like, you should be happy. So, whatever, we met up, we hung out, we had fun, and he kind of thought I was in a depressing state at that time, so he was trying to, like, cheer me up and stuff. So, at the end of the night, his ex-girlfriend calls him. I'm like, because you said you moved out, and you're staying at your friend's. Why the fuck is this bitch calling you? So she calls him, and they talk on the phone. Hey, he gets, you know what's a red sign? When his ex-girlfriend calls, and the nigga answers, and he gets out of the car to answer, that is a red flag. Let me tell y'all, that is a red flag. So he got out the car, he went to talk to her, he came back in, then he started acting weird, like, very, like, he acted like he was annoyed at me, but before, like, 2 minutes ago, he just wanted to, like, touch me and kiss me, like, ugh. Anyways, so then, I can't even bother with it. I can't handle this sitting there, and he's, like, all pouty and stuff, and I'm like, okay, let me take this guy back home, because I don't have time for this. And keep in mind, that day, I was supposed to hang out with somebody else, and I told that other person no, because Tinder number 32 wanted me to hang out with him so badly, so I had to, like, tell my other, well, he's not from Tinder, so let's say my summer fling, so I had to tell my summer fling, oh, I'm sorry, something happened, like, I can't hang out with you. Meanwhile, Tinder 32 is not really doing anything for me when my summer fling could have done so much more that day. So much more. That's besides the point. Anyways, so whatever, I drive him home, whatever, leave it. I don't hear from him for like a week, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. And I'm trying to put on effort, like, I'm up on Snapchat posting, like, me and so-and-so's wedding, like, miss my boo, like, posting stupid shit, because to me, that's effort. Effort to me is me posting you on social media. That's effort. If you need more than that, then you have some serious issues, because that's effort from Ken. So I get a phone call at, like, the middle of the night on the following Sunday at, like, 11 o'clock p.m. This man is fucking crying. He's like, hey, I have something to tell you. I'm like, what the fuck you have to tell me? Like, what do you need to tell me right now? He was like, so I ended up getting back with my ex-girlfriend and I moved in. And I was like, this nigga trying to play me for a fool right now. I'm like, yo, I ain't got time to be a fool. So he's like, I moved in with her, and I was like, okay, so why? Anyways, so he moved in with his girlfriend. Then he's trying to call me and be like, oh my god, like, we're done now. I need a place to stay. I don't have anywhere to go. I'm like, go to your parents. He's like, I can't go there. I'm like, go to your friends. He's like, I can't go anywhere. And he's in Toronto at this point at like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, is this nigga serious? I'm like, you do know I live with my parents and I'm black. You know I'm black and I live with my parents. So he decides, yeah, can I crash at yours tonight? I'm like, is this guy serious right now? So I say yes, because Ken's such a nice person for no reason. So he comes, I sneak him in my house. So I make like a little bed downstairs for him in my basement, which is unfinished. It's an unfinished basement. So whatever, he stayed on the couch. I went upstairs, whatever. And then in the morning, so I text my mom and I was like, hey, my friend had to stay over. He didn't have a place to stay last night. Just so you know, he's in the basement. He's leaving in the morning. I live with Jamaican black parents. Like, if you want a boy to come over, you just don't. You just don't ask. You just never ask those questions. So apparently my dad goes downstairs. My dad goes downstairs and is like looks over the couch, and there's like a light there fixture. So looks over the couch and like clicks the light fixture, looks at him. This is what Tinder 34 told me. Looks at him and like clicks it off. All of a sudden, my dad comes upstairs. My mom bursts in my room. Who's downstairs? Oh my god, who's downstairs? What is that man doing downstairs? My dad's like, does he have a gun? How could you let someone in? I don't even know this person. He could be trying to kill us. I'm like, y'all need to calm down. I'm like, this guy just had nowhere to stay. I said he could stay here. Like, he's leaving. Like, he's gonna be gone. So my parents are freaking out, being Jamaican parents, being extra as fuck, yelling. All I hear is my mom stomping downstairs, because you can hear everything. I live in a townhouse. She is stomping in the living room. That man can hear it downstairs. He's just trying to sleep. Poor nigga's just trying to sleep, and my mom's trying to kick him out. So I'm like, whatever, to be fair. So I was like, I went downstairs. I'm like, hey, can you just like meet my parents and just like talk to them for like 2-3 minutes, because like I'm trying to sleep, okay? So I bring him upstairs. He goes, oh my god, Mrs. Smith and Mr. Smith, like, thank you so much for letting me stay here. I just needed a place to stay. My dad looks at him and looks at me and was like, so what's going on between you? Like, what is this? I'm like, this nigga. I'm like, this is nothing. This is a friend coming over to hang out. who just needed somewhere to stay. Tinder number 34 is my friend. And Tinder number 34 is looking at me, or 32, whatever I called him. And I'm just like, nigga, you ain't my man, so don't even think that this is what it is. You just needed somewhere to stay. So whatever. So then he leaves. Whatever, my parents leave. Then I think a couple weeks after that, he came over and he like wanted to make me breakfast, and I'm like, okay, cool. So makes me breakfast. We have a great conversation. We hang out. Everything's cool. And I'm thinking everything's okay. Because the week before, me and Keenan went, me and my best friend, we went to like Burloak. We went to go shopping. He came with us. I gotta stop that. He came with us. Like, he wanted to hang out. He hung out with us at the mall. And he was like telling Keenan how much he likes me. And is like, I'm the one, wants to get married to me. Just bullshit after bullshit. If somebody could say bullshit, I would have said bullshit 672 times. Okay. So, whatever. Long story short, I don't hear from him. From the time he came over to make me breakfast, I don't hear from him. I'm like, okay, cool. And like, my summer fling wanted to hang out, and then this other guy wanted to hang out, and I'm just like, well, if I don't hear from him, like, I'm just gonna be hanging out with some other people. So whatever, don't hear from him. Then on Christmas Day, I see a Snapchat of him and this girl. And I had seen this girl before because she was that has to be his ex-girlfriend, because she said she was Spanish and she looked kind of Latino. So I'm like, this has to be his ex-girlfriend. So I'm like, he's back with her. So I message him and I was like, hey, is that her? The message I get back is maybe. Yo, why are you lying? So I was just like, hey, like, yo, if that's her, then that's cool. Like, you want to get back with her? Like, you guys have passed. Like, that is cool. All I asked you is to let me know. Like, I don't ask for anything, but for you to let me know. So, and then that was that. And then I was a little upset because I'm like, I was upset because it wasn't that he got back with his ex. Because I think, love is love, whatever. You want to be with someone, you want to be with someone. But out of respect, you could have said, hey, like, you know what, like, things are cool with you, but I'm really feeling her, like, she's the one, I don't care what you fucking said, but you could have said something. And so he didn't say anything, and I think that's what kind of hurt me the most. Let me just switch that, because that's going to bother me. And so I was like, okay, true. But the fact of the matter is, like, I did nothing. Like, it was all him. I just replied. And I think that's my problem. Like, I don't put any effort in. I don't give a fuck. I'm just, like, replying. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, if you like me, then, okay, then maybe I like you too. Like, let's, like, see where it goes. But this guy had the nerve to try and play me and his girl. And I was like, oh, whatever. So that's what happened with Tinder. I think I called him 32. Tinder number 32, the music producer. By the way, he knows Pressa, so I don't know if that makes it any cool. It wasn't cool. He wasn't cool. What he did wasn't cool. I'm over it. Like, it's okay now, but I just think, like, why do you guys do that? That's what I want to know. I want to know why niggas gotta do that, because I'm sitting here like, I was just an innocent bystander and somebody came into my life, made trouble in my life. Like, I didn't need you to come stay in my unfinished basement. I didn't need to hear my mom screaming. You took that upon yourself. So, anyways, that's what happened with Tinder number 32. It was a great time. Definitely have some more stories. I don't know how entertaining that was for you. It just made me actually think of how much I hated him. I blocked and deleted him off everything. So if he sees this video, he won't. So that's good. It's done. And I wish him the best. I wish him and his girlfriend have babies and whatever, because that's all I can do. I wish every nigga the best. Thank you for coming into my life. have a great day. So guys, that was basically it, what happened. Let me know if you want to hear any more stories that has happened to me. I do have a couple more that I want to share. There's some people I actually can't share because they're just too close to my heart. But I mean, if there's anyone you guys know, not know, but have heard of stories and you would like me to share, I can share. I can't say any names though, out of respect, because there's only one name I can say, and that's Sasha, because I blurted out his scene and he blocked and deleted me off everything. But that nigga fucked me up, so I don't even care. So that's basically what happened with him. It's done. I don't think if he ever tries to come back when he's done with his ex-girlfriend, I probably will not be here or answer any phone calls. So long story short, if a guy is still talking about his ex, or like it was a fresh breakup, just avoid it at all costs. Like, just avoid it, because it's just a sticky situation.